Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Three Not So Wise Men. I'm Krais.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Austin.
And today, we don't know what we're doing. Because last episode, we didn't spin the wheel. So, Austin, what are we doing today?
Yeah, because of our Halloween special last episode, which you should definitely check out if you haven't,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't spin the wheel. So we're going to quickly spin the wheel right now. I'm really interested to see what it lands on.
Yeah, this is always the worst part because it could be something really good or really bad, and we have no prep time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Jack, you'll be happy with this.
Oh.
It was on one of your wish lists to do for our anniversary special.
Oh.
But we have turned a superhero into a villain.
Oh. Yep. This was one of the pitches I came up with, and I very much like it.
Oh, I got it. I know what I'm doing.
That was quick.
I have an idea.
Yeah. I've got an idea. I think this is gonna be a good episode.
Yeah. But I guess without further ado, I guess we should specify this. Jack, since this was one of yours, what do we mean hero to villain?
So, hero to villain, when I originally pitched this, I was thinking like superhero to supervillain. Technically, I guess we could do like, let's see, Robin Hood. He's a classic hero. You could turn him into a villain. Me personally, I'm gonna stick with the superhero to a villain. I think it's a little more clear cut. Basically, you need to take them, a hero, and turn them into a villain.
And what's our definition of villain?
Yes, that's good. I'm trying to find the exact words. So, we're not saying turn a hero into like an anti-hero. So, we're not like making Iron Man, start killing people like Punisher or Deadpool would. No, they are a full-on villain, evil, maniacal. They're wanting to rule the world or a city. They are a full-on villain. We also didn't specify what media platform this would be in, so I think it'd be simpler to just give our story and not be like, hey, this is going to be a movie or a TV show or a comic book or what have you.
Yeah.
We can figure that out for later, because this is very open-ended, and I love that about it.
Yeah, especially if it's going with the comic book characters.
Mm-hmm.
It could very well lend itself to a comic book. So,
yeah. Or a novel, for all we know. We'll see.
yeah. I'm kind of excited. I know what character I want to do. I'm not quite sure about the story yet, but I'm ready to get into it.
I'll figure it out.
Faint idea for both. Let's get into it.
All right, we'll get started here in 3, 2, 1, go. And time.
Oh my gosh. That time flew by for me, personally.
It really did.
Yeah.
That was an interesting writing period, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious how you guys will respond to mine, because it does toe that line, but I think I did enough of the evil stuff.
Fair enough.
I also kind of towed the line. I'll explain more when we get to me.
My definitely turned villain. I'm good motivation for turning villain. I just don't know if my pitch itself explains it well enough. We'll find out.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Let's spin this wheel already. Let's go.
Yeah, I also want to spin it because I'm really excited to hear which characters you guys picked.
Me too. All right.
This will be interesting.
All right, so first one will be Jack. You're kicking us off.
I love that. I'm excited.
Okay.
All right, Krais, you want to pick between you and me?
It's probably gonna be you first.
All right. So following Jack will be Nope. Krais will go second.
Okay.
And then I'll finish us off.
Krais, you have really not been doing well with the predictions.
Yeah, I haven't really been thinking about it. I've just been saying names. I've just been kind of shooting in the dark lately.
Lazy.
The gut feeling's not there, is it?
No, it's not. It's more of I'm trying to think about my pitch and be like, did I do a good job? And then we start discussing who's next, and I'm just guessing.
All right. Well, without further ado, Jack, let's hear what you got.
All right. So, I was debating just going over my summary or if I just open with the battle and explain it, or open with the opening scene and explain it. I'm going to go just do the opening scene and explain it. All right. A battlefield. Hulk stands panting over the partially crushed body of the leader. Thor stands over an unconscious Abomination, Absorbing Man, and Red Hulk, and other Gamma beings. Iron Man holds a device partially glowing green as he floats slightly above him. Hulk roars and transforms into Banner as the roar turns into a cry of anguish. They all look behind them to see the bodies of a gamma-radiated Ant-Man, Hawkeye, and Black Widow. With arrows sticking out of his body and full of bullet holes, Cap breathes raggedly. Iron Man is heard calling to inform emergency services that the area is now safe of gamma radiation and help is on the way. But to Banner, it is far too late. So my villain is Bruce Banner. Not the Hulk. Bruce Banner.
Oh.
And we'll get into that in a bit. Basically, during this battle, and this will all be explained or implied throughout this story, but in the battle with the leader, this was heavily influenced by... Not heavily. The premise was inspired by the Avengers Earth Mightiest Hero. I think it's 2-part episode. It was like Gamma World, where...
Yeah, I was getting that.
Yeah, the leader basically starts turning the world into gamma radiation, and some people die from the radiation, and some people turn into gamma beings. How I had it was... Gamma beings, unlike in those episodes, they don't turn into like monsters. They just become more like Doc Samson, where they just get like gamma powers, but they're the same people. And to explain a bit more, because it's not explained specifically in my... It's explained in a scene in my pitch, but I didn't like... It's not during my writing, it's not in that. Basically, Banner has a way to control gamma beings. Okay. So, after this, basically, Banner has decided to take Avenging to the next level and to take it on all by himself to prevent something like this from ever happening again. So our opening scene is the one I described, and after that we have a time jump. We see Tony Stark working in a lab with Jennifer Walters, She-Hulk, and Doc Samson. For those who don't know, Doc Samson is basically a scientist who studied gamma radiation, and he ends up getting, it depends on the storyline, but he gets exposed to gamma radiation and goes from like a nerdy, weak scientist into a really muscly, super strong guy with green hair. So kind of like Bruce Banner and the Hulk, but he stays in one form, and he's not as strong as the Hulk, or as smart as Banner. And I didn't go into how Doc Samson became gammified in the pitch, but it doesn't really matter. So, Tony Stark, Walters, and Samson are all working on a device that's similar to the one that was glowing partially green in the opening scene. And they have a conversation that explains the device is used to trap gamma radiation. And they are trying to make a device that'll work on the gamma beings. But they need to test it. Doc Samson volunteers. During the test, it does the thing where it almost goes wrong, but in the end, Doc Samson turns back into his normal form, his weaker, nerdy one. But this is an amazing thing because they have a way to defeat the Gamma beings. And during this, they explain that they're going to use this to fight against Banner, specifically not naming the Hulk. Just during their celebration, an alarm starts going off. Tony immediately jumps into his suit of armor, and Samson starts putting on a special suit as Walter switches into She-Hulk form. In this, I decided to use... I don't know much about She-Hulk, is various stories, but in this, it's going to be... She's not a split personality in this. But it is
That's the thing with She-Hulk. She's always had control over her differences.
Yeah. Okay, cool. But...
That's the trade-off. She's not as strong as Banner's Hulk because she gets to maintain herself.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. So I did do it right. Okay. So they're switching and or getting on suits, but it's too late. Absorbing Man For those who don't know, this is more for the honest. I'm sure you guys know who this guy is. He basically touches a material and he can absorb it and become that material. So if he touches a rock, his body gets made of rock. He touches metal, his body gets made of metal. And his power came through gamma radiation. So Absorbing Man starts crashing through the building, followed by other gamma beings. The air turns green and Doc Samson cries out. Tony in his suit starts to help him, but She-Hulk orders him to grab the device and get out of there. She tosses it to him between blows, fighting the enemy, and Tony flies away as he sees Samson succumb to the radiation, dying, and She-Hulk gets overrun by the enemy. We cut to a guard walking up to a large, thick, teched out prison cell. He is a gamma being, and he tosses food inside, and we see Thor wearing just a robe as he shakes on the ground. The air is heavy with gamma radiation. The guard insults Thor, saying he is unfortunate he can't transform due to being an Asgardian. Thor says, "Soon you shall see what Asgardians can do," and the guard walks away nervous. We cut to a teched out hospital room. Cap is laying in bed in a gamma safe room. While the area around through windows and such we can see is full of green air, irradiated, the room is safe. He is awake, but he's not really able to move, and Banner himself is there looking over his devices, reading his charts and stuff. As they talk, it explains that Cap's exposure to gamma radiation and near-lethal wounds means his recovery is going to take a long time, even with the super soldier serum. As Banner leaves, he puts on a simpler but similar suit that Samson was trying to put on, and Cap says if Banner lets out the Hulk, he wouldn't need it. Banner says that they have a difference in views, so he can't. Next, we see Iron Man landing at a military base with relatively clear air. We might see some guards outside with masks on, but no one's in a full suit. We see Ross talking to a soldier, and for those who don't know, Ross as in Red Hulk. Lieutenant Ross? General Ross? Colonel Ross?
General, mostly.
Alright, General Ross is talking with a soldier. As Iron Man comes up, he and him starts talking, and they explain that the gamma cloud Banner has made is starting to edge closer towards them, and that they're going to need some more suits for the soldiers. It's also explained that Ross has sworn not to transform into the Red Hulk anymore. He originally sided with Banner at the beginning, thinking that this might be a new way to gain order in the world, but Banner's idea of order was too oppressive, even for Ross, and he swore to only transform to kill Banner himself. Iron Man wishes that Banner could see this form of peace is everything the Avengers stood against, and that their fallen comrades would be horrified to see what he's become. And there's even a quick mention that the half-created Ultron initiative wasn't even enough to beat Banner. It's implying that Iron Man and Ant-Man were working on the Ultron initiative before the battle, the original battle, and they were unable to finish it, and what Iron Man had wasn't enough to defeat Banner. Suddenly, in the background, Abomination casually walks in, says some snippy line to them, and all of a sudden the base is starting to be overrun with gamma beings. A big battle happens where the soldiers are in tanks. They don't quite get the fighter jets out, but it's a full-on military battle between gamma beings and the soldiers, with Iron Man helping. And in the end, Ross escapes in a tank with a few soldiers with the device Iron Man brought, and Iron Man accompanies him from the air. We get to the prison, where, I didn't go into detail, but Loki breaks out Thor and Walters, who was newly imprisoned there, saying that only he will rule Midgard, and he'll come back once it's worthy of his rule. I just thought it'd be like a fun little cameo type thing. We cut to all of the heroes that we've seen. So Thor, Walters, Iron Man, Ross meet with Black Panther in Wakanda, and they come up with a plan. And we kind of get a shot where it's revealed that Banner's base is actually a converted helicarrier. They plan their attack. And essentially what the battle plan is Ross, Walters, and Thor and Iron Man will fly in, Ross will transform while he's on a plane and jump down. They'll attack from there. Black Panther will lead a Wakandan army in special vibranium suits to attack from the bottom, and they attack the helicarrier. Eventually, and along the way, there's big fights with like Absorbing Man, Abomination, and Gamma beings. Along the way, a lot of Wakandans are exposed and they'll die or get transformed. And it's a very conflicting battle throughout the helicarrier. And eventually they destroy the device that's basically creating the Gamma Cloud. They get Cap safely out of there. And the last bit is Iron Man fighting Bruce Banner, who's just got a bunch of tech weapons, as the helicarrier crashes into the ocean. And at the very end, Banner is forced to transform into the Hulk to survive. And we get a bit of the Hulk getting on land, or everyone getting on land, and the Hulk saying he needs to leave and never transform into Banner again to save the world. And he goes into exile. I'm thinking Loki and Thor take him to like another realm or something. I did not have that bit out. But the idea is he goes into exile and solitude. And the world has to recover.
You could take it, if you wanted to incorporate another storyline, you could send him to the planet the Illuminati sends him for World War Hulk.
Yeah.
Or Planet Hulk.
Yeah, let's go with that. I totally wrote that down.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And that is my pitch. There would be a lot more action sequences and battles, they would be a lot longer than what I mentioned. Like, I'm thinking the Ross and Iron Man versus Abomination with all the soldiers. That's going to be, like, at least 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
But that's why the story itself is shorter. And, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Chris, do you want to go first?
Well, going first now. I honestly really loved this, Jack. When you opened it up, I was kind of confused because I wasn't sure if it was Banner or, like, Hulk or Iron Man, because like I could see you doing an evil Iron Man of like Pitch.
I did consider it.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a Bruce Banner turned villain Pitch. I mean, we had like the Hulk gone rogue stuff before, like World War Hulk, which is one of my favorites, which is what I thought you were doing for a split second, and then you went in a completely different direction. So props to you.
Thank you.
Or I thought go down the Maestro path, and you didn't do that either. And I just think it was a really good pitch altogether. Good job bringing all of these different, like, gamma radiation people into one cohesive story. It was really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, to build off that, like, you took probably one of my top 5 favorite storylines in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and then you had a unique adaptation to it, which was really awesome to see. I really liked their selection of heroes that you chose for it to fight Banner. The only thing I kind of wish you did a little bit more of is maybe a little bit more focus on Banner, since we're trying to see why he's the villain.
Yeah.
But like the story itself is really good.
Yeah, I was wanting to put that in there, but unfortunately it was in fact a time thing.
Yeah.
But this is one of the ones that I honestly I think this is the first one I would love to revisit.
Yeah.
The first one I thought you said you loved was the Iron Man game.
I don't know if I want to revisit that one as much, honestly, because I'm fine leaving that one where it is with how much I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, that was like my only one thing. I was really enjoying that story.
That's awesome. Yeah. Sweet.
All right, Chris. All right. What do you got for us?
Okay. I also have an opening sequence.
Ooh.
Okay. A cold prison cell. The sounds of metal in empty hallways as far as the eye can see. 2 guards walk down the hall. One grizzled and experienced, the other young and very green. They walk to a large door at the end of the hall. As the cell opens up, it reveals the Wolverine.
Yep.
I had a feeling someone was doing him.
Yeah.
When we first started this episode, I had the idea of doing Daredevil because of the Marvel Rivals release of Daredevil and that whole story. But I don't know much about it. So I was like, I'm going to move away from it. Instead, I'm going to do the Wolverine because I had a really cool idea and I really wanted to see it just because. So, I'll just open it up that technically my villain of the story is, I can't say his first name, but Bolivar Trask.
Okay.
That's how you say it.
Yeah, Bolivar Trask. And I can't think of his first name, but Stryker.
Baron? No. I'm thinking
William.
Stryker.
William Stryker, the Weapon X guy.
Yeah, William Stryker.
Yeah, it's William.
I'm basically having it so that they're teaming up for at the like the top of the movie. So, just to kind of give you my premise, Trask has been trying to make the perfect killing machine under his control to like wipe out the mutants, but he doesn't really have the means to make any of the Sentinels like in the comics or in the movies. So instead, his thought process is to turn the mutants against each other. Trask and Stryker work together to build or like try to develop a mutant who would just be the perfect killing machine for them to control. They start performing raids, capturing mutants, experimenting on them, trying to like make them like 10 times worse. One of them being the Wolverine. And it is here where Wolverine gets his adamantium skeleton. And, you know, he's also just tortured beyond belief. So much so that he, like, loses his sense of self. And he just goes full feral now. You know, that feral side of him? That's it now. I've removed the part that everyone loves. I know that's probably not a great choice. But, point is, Wolverine is gone crazy. A little bit later in the story, a new containment unit is brought in. They just caught a new mutant in this fiery cage, and it's revealed that Johnny Blaze, aka the Ghost Rider, was caught.
Is he a mutant normally?
No, he's not. But
Okay.
they're basically lumping him all together because, you know, yeah. So while in containment, Ghost Rider, not Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider, notices, like, senses Wolverine's soul and becomes so enamored with him that he basically leaves Johnny. He, like, abandons Johnny in the cell to embody Wolverine, introducing the Helverine.
Not a fan of the name. Love the concept. Keep going.
It's an actual, like, name of, like, the Ghost Rider mixed with Wolverine.
Fair.
I wanted to see if it was done, and it was, and I would love to see this story. But this is where I kind of really shine. That was all, like, the setup to what I'm actually doing, the Helverine. And I know we didn't say, like, what kind of media this would be, but if this was a movie, this would be like the climax of the movie where we see all the torture and the trauma that Logan has gone through and then the capture of Ghost Rider. But when Ghost Rider fuses with Helverine, they form this berserker rage, just pure killing instinct. And yeah, I basically wrote some carnage. After they're fused, they go and find Johnny, and Ghost Rider basically tells Johnny, I found a better host, and kills him. So a killing spree is brought upon the base. As Ghost Rider, like Helverine, walks down the corridor, guards walk out and start threatening to shoot him and immediately open fire. But as the bullets enter Helverine's body, Ghost Rider kind of forces the bullets to fuse into and be like projected out of Helverine's mouth as like a small little minigun. I thought that was a cool idea. It just to shoot someone and have them shoot flaming bullets in retort would be sick as hell. I also have this other really cool scene of as the bullet hail is over, a guard tries to hide in the corner, and Helverine sneaks up behind him and stabs him in the back with the claws and just starts sucking his soul out. In the garage, trying to, you know, just killing everyone he sees. I did a little Mortal Kombat reference with a "get over here!" Like the Wolverine finds some chains, wraps up a guard, pulls him towards him, and then does this little leap and stabs him in the back. I just think that would be a really cool visual. Mm-hmm. There would also be a battle with a tank at one point inside the garage, but Wolverine immediately uses the chains that he found to pull himself onto the tank, slash off the barrel, and then as he opens up the tank and the guards are like, "No, please don't kill us," he would just release a torrent of fire breath inside the tank, and you could see the tank start to melt, and you could hear the screams inside the tank. I think that would be really interesting. Finally, I had to do this because I thought it would be a really cool idea. Wolverine swallows the rest of the adamantium they had to infuse his chains with adamantium. So, yeah. And then Wolverine kills Trask and Stryker. And then the final, scene that I have would be Wolverine looking out into the open world and see, a city in the distance. And just a small, devilish chuckle comes from it as he jumps out the window into the woods to unleash his hellish retribution. That's all I got. It was more of I was trying to come up with a cool concept. I think not having a media really kicked me in the ass because I kind of was just going off of movie vibes, but also I like the idea of making a comic book. So yeah.
Yeah. I have a question before we get into feedback officially.
What's up?
Who hurt you to give me such nightmares? Sorry, you've got some really good, I guess we can just get into it. I do wish we had more of a story, but I understand why not having a medium would hinder that. I just wish you kind of been know what? I'm just going to choose it's going to be a movie because it'll help me with the pitch overall.
Yeah.
But what you did give us was just a lot of really good visuals and powers that this villain has. I know this is a harder pitch than for you. You guys have mentioned that this is kind of a hard pitch for you, and I didn't think about it too much because I've always had a few ideas. But I think this is probably the only real semi-believable way that Wolverine could become a villain outside of, all the mutants are dead and he's going to go kill everyone type of thing.
Yeah.
Which is already kind of his vibe.
Logan.
Huh?
Old Man Logan.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool powers, really cool visuals. I don't really have much else to say.
So, I would say that you do have a story. It's just a very straightforward jailbreak story. He's escaping the prison.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about, I hate to get darker with it. I thought about having him getting out to the city and just starting a killing spree, but that got a little too dark for me and I thought it was too much for what the story is, so I cut it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, this kind of goes back towards what we said at the beginning. This sounds a little bit more anti-hero-esque than it does straight up villain.
I had a feeling you'd say that.
Mostly because he's escaping captors.
Okay.
It's not him doing super evil things.
Okay.
He's killing them very brutally, but
I agree with Austin in the way that within the pitch, yes, for sure, more of an anti-hero. But I think you could go into more of just basically more innocence there that he kills, and he would definitely be a villain. Because if he's at the end of the movie, it's implied that he goes out and just starts killing everyone. Technically, he becomes a villain, but we don't get to see him be the villain. And I think kind of the idea, I guess, was that we just see him as a villain. But I do genuinely like what you have.
Oh, the concept is good.
Yeah.
I can see how he can become the villain.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, it's more,
let us see the villain he became.
Yeah, let's get a little bit more villain and stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm not gonna that's only my biggest thing because I really enjoyed it overall. And I know that's probably gonna be a critique that I'm gonna have against mine.
Gosh,
because I'm not
hypocrite. Sorry.
Well, it takes one to know one. So that's why I thought process was it's more of an anti-hero, but so is the one that I kind of have ish. I think I might have separated a little bit, but yeah, I think we could have just used a little bit more villainy stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like really cool concept and really good visuals. And I think, yeah, as a movie, I definitely paid to see it.
Yeah.
I think this would be like one of the ones us three would like get together and watch and like really enjoy. I think it's very enjoyable. I personally, I don't know. I wish it was more than just a Prison Break movie, and I wish we got to see more of the villainous side. But I did really like it.
Good job, Krais.
Good job.
Thank you.
Krais going, aw, shucks. Thanks, guys.
Little kick of his feet.
All right.
Alrighty.
Austin.
I'm going to tell you my superhero that I chose to turn to the dark side.
All right.
And this is going to be really funny because I actually chose Daredevil.
Okay.
I knew it.
I knew it too. I'm gonna be real. Like,
The moment you stayed quiet when I said Daredevil confirmed my already suspicions of that's what you were picking.
I knew you were gonna do it, but I was really hoping you would do it too.
Okay. So I'll give you the synopsis. It's what if Daredevil was pushed to his breaking point?
Mm-hmm.
And so I either see this as like it's a long form, so this would either need to be a full comic line or kind of like a spin-off series similar to like Marvel's What If, or I guess I should say Marvel's Zombies,
Yeah.
because it focuses on the storyline for a good amount.
Gotcha.
So the story begins with Daredevil and Elektra out on patrol at night in Hell's Kitchen when Bullseye attacks them. So after they duel for a little bit, Bullseye disorients Daredevil with some previously placed sonic disruptors, and it forces a one-on-one fight between Bullseye and Elektra, which ends with Bullseye killing Elektra with her own sai. And I ripped that one straight out of the comics and the original movie. But, you know, it's in there for, it's an iconic moment in Daredevil's story.
Yep.
So, a few days later, after the funeral at Josie's bar, Matt is talking with Karen and Foggy about how he's going to find Bullseye and make him pay. And Karen and Foggy are like, Matt, that's not you. Come on. And so they talk him down a little bit, and then, because it's getting late, Karen and Foggy decide to go out to their car. And then Karen gets in the car, but Foggy, right before he gets in, notices a liquid leaking out of the car. And then when Foggy goes to check it out, we hear a sniper shot go off, and we see the bullet ricochet off a bunch of things in the street, and then goes right into the gas tank, causing an explosion, which kills Foggy and Karen.
Goodness.
Which, you know, Matt's super upset with at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And so he instantly runs out of the bar and starts chasing down Bullseye and catches up to him on the rooftop. And it just happens to be the same rooftop where Bullseye originally killed Elektra, with a little bit of the blood stain on the top of the roof still there.
Mm-hmm.
After a short little battle between the two, Daredevil gets the upper hand and starts to beat Bullseye senseless, and then asks him who hired him. And Bullseye just taunts him. And this just manages to piss Daredevil off. So Matt takes his billy club and uses it to snap Bullseye's neck. And then after that, he just shoves his body off the rooftop, kind of similar to what he did at the beginning of Daredevil Born Again.
Mm-hmm.
So another few days pass by. Frank Castle, the Punisher, finds Matt sulking in a bar. And he tells Matt that he's going after the person who killed Karen. And he checks to see if Matt wants to help him after hearing what happened with Bullseye. Matt tells him that he's not like Frank, but Frank just goes, I told you, Red, you were one bad day from becoming me. Now look where you are, crying over a bottle like a little bitch. Come find me when you want to do something about it. A little bit after that, Matt decides to go to his church and to confess his guilt and his sins when the villain Muse attacks the church and uses Sister Maggie to paint a horrific picture on the cross within the church. If you guys don't know who Muse is, he's like the weird graffiti artist who's like super sinister.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh. I actually didn't know that one.
Yep. But he uses Sister Maggie's corpse to paint a horrific picture on the cross. And he also leaves a message in blood that says, the Kingpin says hello.
Oh, no.
So Daredevil goes to Fisk Tower and kills Fisk because he's just done with it. Mm-hmm. And he decides to become the Kingpin of crime, as he's also renounced God because of everything that's happened. Mm-hmm. And so as he becomes the Kingpin of crime, he becomes a little bit more violent and starts to do things. Like initially he's like, I'm going to start fixing things up. But as he keeps doing it, he keeps pushing farther and farther and starts to do the things that he used to fight against. So, with all that, he soon becomes a target for the Punisher. And Frank starts attacking some of Daredevil's operations.
Mm-hmm.
And then this leads to Daredevil being fed up with Frank getting in his way. So he decides to deal with him himself. So he goes to the Punisher's warehouse and shuts down the power while Frank is working on some of his guns. Frank knows who it is, and he says, "I know it's you, Red. How does your god feel about all the shit you've been doing lately?" And Daredevil responds, "Not as mad as he is with you for everything you've done." Frank then says, "Oh, don't you worry about me, Red. I've made my peace with God." And then in the shadows, right behind Frank, two red glowing eyes pop up, and they says, "If that were true, he wouldn't have sent the devil." So that's also an actual line from the comics too.
Yeah.
So a big battle commences with Frank and Daredevil going back and forth, not really sure who's going to win the fight. But once it comes to an end, Daredevil finishes it, holding Frank by his Punisher shirt, nearly lifeless, and raises him up to his face and says, "Tell your wife and kids the devil sent you," before finishing him off.
Okay.
With that, Daredevil begins to start bribing cops and starts to expand his operation out towards Harlem. And this starts to get the attention of the Defenders: Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and White Tiger. And then that's kind of where it is. That's the setup for the next couple issues or next season. And that, like, this is all the setup part of it. And like he starts doing worse and worse stuff, so much so that it gets the Defenders' attention.
Okay.
And it's going to end up leading to Daredevil versus the Defenders.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's my story.
All right, Krais, you going first?
You can go first, Jack.
Okay. So first off, when I was looking up like the most common, like more well-known heroes turned villain, Daredevil was one of them. And I thought of doing him myself because he's like one of the ones that's most likely to go bad if he breaks one of his rules, kind of like Batman. So when you first said that, I was like, okay, what exactly are we getting here? And I was a tad worried, but you just kept building it, which is why I was having those okay moments, because I'm really impressed in the order in which things happen. And at first I was like, okay, he's gone anti-hero like the Punisher. But by the end, I was like, okay, I do think he is full-on villain now, because he fights the Punisher and he's become kind of the ruler of crime in New York. He's the new kingpin. And I think the build-up was really good. There's a lot of really good visuals. Yeah, the thing I'm most impressed with was turning him into a true villain.
That's why I was really concerned whether I did it. Like, I know I didn't go like deep into like the actual villain stuff.
Yeah.
But I knew the story with how I would tell it. It would be more like being more anti-hero like, but it would be doing so much of the anti-hero stuff eventually leads to you becoming a villain. And so, yeah, I just kind of wanted to do the corruption route because, first take away his love, take away his friends and his emotional support, then take away his faith. Which, with the thing with Daredevil, faith is a big part of what helps him hold up to his rule of not killing people.
Yeah.
He completely loses that. There's no one to rein him in.
Yep.
Chris, what do you got?
Well, I think you did a really good job. Same with Jack. I thought you were going to go a completely different direction. Like, I didn't want to talk about it because you hadn't gone yet, but I had a feeling you were going to go with Daredevil. And if so, I was thinking it was going to be the devil, like him becoming the leader of the Hand, which
I did consider doing the Hand storyline.
Yeah, I had a feeling, like something in my gut was telling me that that's what you were thinking. So I was like, I'm going to avoid that because I want to see you do it more. But you didn't. You just did the Daredevil line, did this Daredevil pick, and it was just a really good pick. I just love the going down the list of the killing spree, and I think you did a really good job with Daredevil and like the choices you made.
Thank you. Yeah, I really tossed up with the Hand, but I was like, no, I want to keep it a little bit more gritty and more local on the battle on the home front for Daredevil.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely buy a comic series about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know I'm getting really repetitive when I say this, but everyone's been doing really good lately.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think we've like really hit our stride.
Yeah, like honestly, really good picks and very unique routes for each one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good job, everyone. And also, surprisingly, no, like, we all did Marvel stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking one of you guys would do DC. You guys are a lot more well versed in DC, but I guess DC does have a lot of like heroes turn villain already, as opposed to Marvel, unless I'm wrong. But yeah,
Yeah, I was thinking Krais might do DC, but I guess not.
yeah.
I had no ideas for DC. Like, I didn't want to do Superman because that was done already. Batman would have been boring. I truly had no idea, except for maybe a Red Tornado pitch, but I had no idea where it would go.
Quick pitch: you make Red Tornado Ultron, basically.
That's basically what you do when you make Red Tornado evil. I love that guy. I love him. He's one of my favorites.
So I guess with that note, should we spin the wheel for the last time in 2025?
Oh,
At least for a normal
like
episode.
that.
Spin that wheel.
Yeah, it's getting crazy. We're coming up on the end of the year.
God, don't remind me, Jesus Christ.
Alrighty, so let us see what we get. I'm really curious what this one could be.
Yeah,
Anything big that you guys are really hoping for, or you're just like, take it?
I want the Minecraft update, but we've been waiting for that for years.
Yeah, that one could be really interesting to see what we get.
Honestly, I'm up for anything, at least right now, which is like a interest. Yeah, I'm up for anything right now.
All right, we got create a heist movie.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't expecting this one at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's gonna be interesting. I already know what I'm gonna do with it.
I do
what
not.
Like, do I make something themed? Do I make something original? I don't know, guys.
I don't know.
Yeah, but that one will be interesting. There's a lot of different routes you can take that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No clue. Find out next time on.
The 3 Not So Wise Men.
Yup.
But before you do that, be sure to let us know down in the comments in the poll on whose story would you like to check out the most. And also be sure to check out our YouTube channel. Be sure to like and subscribe to that. And then, yeah, just be on the lookout for more of our episodes.
Yeah. All right. Who wants to take their time brooding up on the roof of the building?
Dude,
me,
That Austin, that's mine. Watch the between the takes. That is mine. I got dibs.
Oh, fine.
I'll just take this rock over here, I guess.
The 3 Not So Wise Men. Grace Baker, Jack Green, Austin Michaelis. Special thanks to Louis Trotter for the amazing intro. See you next time.